ESBR Boxing, we're back. Myself, my compatriot, my friend Owen. We are here in final predictions mode. We're here to predict the comeback fight between Sonny Edwards and Adrian Curiel, which is taking place this weekend over in the USA. It's taking place in Phoenix, Footprint Center in Phoenix. Owen, thank you very much for joining me. After you give a sort of sentence or so of how you're getting on, obviously, I hope you're well. We like to go straight in on these videos now. No beating around the bush. We'll discuss the fight maybe a little bit in a minute. We want to go straight in with your prediction, Owen, of how you see this one going. Let us know, please.
Pleasure as always to be on. I think it's safe to say, I think you'd pretty much know the method of victory before the prediction. 9 knockouts in 44 fights between the pair. Uh, if there's a knockout in this, then I think I'll be seeing pigs flying above my head. Uh, I think it's going to be a Sonny Edwards points victory. I don't think you can argue anything else. Sonny, the only sort of real proper adversity he's faced was against Bam. I mean, what a man to face adversity against. The bloke's a freak at the weight classes. Other than that, no one's really laid a glove on him. And when you look at Curiel, sort of when he has stepped up to sort of decent level opponents, sort of undefeated fighters looking to make a name for themselves, he's come up short. So I think it'll be Sonny Edwards on his bike, on the back foot, relatively unscathed, barely touched, points victory. Sort of a maybe even like a 117, 110, 116, 111, that sort of range.
Yeah, no, I'd just confirm. I totally agree with you. Actually, I think it's going to be a fairly convincing Sonny Edwards victory here on points. Again, like you say, you mentioned the KO percentages of both fighters. They'll be absolutely stunned if any man even hit the deck, let alone had a sort of knockout. So I think yeah, Edwards points is obviously where you want to stick the money if you're betting. But just to ask your own, obviously, like you say, yeah, Sonny Edwards is coming back obviously since that victory, well, so that loss that he had against Bam, that retired loss that he had recently. Is there anything that you particularly want to see from Sonny Edwards in this fight? Is there anything you're looking out for from Sonny Edwards, or do you think just the result is all that matters, a convincing points win, or is there anything style wise you want to see? What are you looking forward to this weekend for Sonny Edwards?
I actually think this is a big turning point in Sonny's career because I think for many people, including myself, it was sort of a question of is there anyone in the division that can touch him? You know, if he went in against Bam and performed how he'd performed in previous fights, and it was like, okay, we've got a pound for pound British star on the ranks here. If someone like Bam couldn't really lay a glove on him. So I am looking for quite a convincing performance. We know Sonny's got no power. Sonny himself knows he's got no power. I think he's been in denial over it previously. But I think he knows his best attributes in a boxing ring are get in, get out, box and move. So in terms of convincing, I want to see him winning rounds and winning rounds comfortably. Back to his best of, like I say, on the inside, straight back out, making Curiel miss, making Curiel almost chase him around the ring. Because I think if he loses this, if he gets stopped again, if he miraculously got chinned by Curiel, or if he got broken down over 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds again, then he is at a real sort of sticky point in his career of maybe a weight change, maybe a trainer change. So I think a convincing performance in the manner of victory is needed. He's not going to knock him out. I'd say genuinely say it's near on impossible. I'd fancy my chances of winning the lottery tonight over Sonny Edwards getting a knockout in this fight. So yeah, I think I just want to see him. I want to see the confidence back. I'm just really intrigued to see what Bam's taken out of him. Is he going to be gun shy? And there's a lot of questions. I think he can answer them all positively. And I think he can put them all to bed pretty quickly and just say, yeah, Bam was just a level above and he is elite level. So, yeah, nice convincing victory. Get in, get out, no damage taken, and move on to the next one.
I thought we were very, very close then to a McKendry special. I thought when you started talking about Curiel beating, I thought we're going to get
No, no,
retirement here.
no.
He's gearing up. He's coming off the long run. But
Not
no, it'd be
quite, not
disappointing, I
quite.
think, if Sonny Edwards were to lose here. But let's just have a look. Well, one final look, I suppose, at the landscape. You mentioned obviously a weight change as well, potential moving up or down. There's obviously big fights. Chocolatito, Estrada, obviously around those sort of weights as well. Do you think well, Sonny's come through this convincingly? How would you are you sort of matching him? Again, you putting him straight into another big fight after this? Obviously, like some Martinez has also been mentioned. Are you putting him into that sort of fight after this, or do you think maybe another sort of one or two sort of tune ups before he goes back onto a fight at that level?
Um, I think it's a difficult one because Curiel's proved sort of around the weight division that he's almost sort of slightly above gatekeeper level, but not good enough to win things. So it's a really difficult one because if he wins really convincingly, then I think you've got to put him straight back into big fights. I've spoken to Sonny myself before. I don't think he'd really be interested in tune-ups. I think he's a bit of a maverick personality wise. He's quite confident in himself, his ability. So I think he'd go straight back into big fights. If he gets the win, but doesn't look great, struggles, tires, gasses out, gets hurt, anything like that, then I think definitely he's still got the win. Fair enough. So then look at another similar level opponent before going back to the big leagues. You know, even the three names you mentioned at the start of the question, they're all huge, big money fights. They're massive names to have on your record, no matter what stages of the career they're at. So yeah, I think if he wins convincingly, he's got to go straight back into big names and title contention again. But if he struggles, then I think one more tune up and then back into the big fights. But unfortunately, I think with Sonny Edwards now, he's put himself in the spotlight of big fights only.
Owen, that's all we've got time for. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, just to reconfirm and to sum up what we're both describing there, we think Sonny Edwards on points, both of us unanimous, and it will be unanimous on points is how we're kind of thinking for this fight. Guys, check out the rest of the channel. Obviously, we've got other previews of fights this week. Obviously, Strada Rodriguez, Lopez versus Steve Claggett, who some people, myself included, incorrectly pronounced as Steve Claridge in the preview show. Check out those. But obviously, we'll have other stuff, interviews from fighters on the channel, previews, reviews of other fights. Check those out. Like and subscribe as you like to do, and feedback in the comments whether you agree with Owen and I, whether you disagree, how you see this fight playing out. Owen, as I'd like to mention again, reiterate again, thank you very much for joining me. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.
Pleasure as always, mate.